Welcome to Frolic Weekend, a 6-day getaway for queer and trans men of color in the heart of Provincetown, Massachusetts. This is the biggest and largest gathering for queer and trans men of color in the country. Join over 1,000 men for curated experiences that celebrate who we are. From powerful conversations to poolside days, boat cruises, and unforgettable nights soundtracked by some of the best DJs. Frolic Weekend is your chance to show up as your true and authentic self. This is our 7th year and we're feeling lucky. So this year's theme is Jackpot, because everyone who comes to Frolic Weekend is a winner. From June 17th to the 22nd, take a gamble and frolic with us. Tickets are on sale now and payment plans are available. See you there.
Host of Frequency Podcast, and today we are talking about the rise of the femboy. And today we have MXTER XERO RULZ. Introduce yourself, baby. Tell them who you are, tell them what you're about, tell them what you've done.
Well, hello, everybody. I am MXTER XERO RULZ, MXTER, aka Master. I am a covered master and a covered and recognized master in the leather community. I am also Mr. Maryland 2020, Mr. Maryland Leather 2020 through 2022, pandemic years. I'm also the head of household for the Temple Vanguard.
Tell us about Temple Vanguard.
Well, the Temple Vanguard is a very different collection of energies, all culminating into a leather family, but it has spiritual ties as well as pleasure and kink ties, as well as like mental health and healing.
So is this like your house, I'm guessing?
This is my house.
Period. How long have you had your house for?
Actually, I just presented my house to the community at MAO this year. This is my second house. I had one back in that I launched in 2020. And then I retired that one. And I went on a journey to grow and expand. And the Temple Vanguard was born.
I'm so glad that you have your house. Question. I want to make sure I'm using the right terminology. When I saw you at MAO, was that your sub?
Yes, with the dreads?
Yes. And are they part of your house as well?
Yes.
Okay. So y'all, I didn't let me tell y'all. So I was doing interviews, which I interviewed, and I went to your sub. And I was like, hey, and he was like, don't talk to them. And I was like, oh my God, I did not realize, because I was in film mode, right? So everybody who's walking past me, I'm just like, oh, do you want to talk? Do you want to say, and you were like, I don't mind you talking to them, but they're in service mode. And I was like, oh. And then his stuff gave me like a little wink to, just like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be talking to you right now. I was just like, oh. Very well behaved. You got their protocols on lock.
Listen.
Okay. So how's your week been? What have you been up to? What you been doing?
Oh.
And we love hotels as well.
I've been like preparing for this. I was like, I've been really in my getting into my mind, like, what do I want to talk about? What do I want to communicate? This is me presenting myself to your audience, which is primarily a leather and kink and pleasure audience, but not many people have seen me speak in this form. Okay. And so I'm like, what do I want my voice to sound like? Or all these things that are very surface things. But I was like, you do this. So
you were on a podcast recently. You look amazing.
Thank you. But I wasn't in makeup.
You that is true. His face. Can you give them the face card today? Just give him a little The face is beat, y'all. It's fucking gorgeous. Oof. I remember back in my days when I tried to do makeup and it just wasn't working, and I just gave up on it. I tried.
Me too. To be honest.
How long have you been doing makeup for?
So I had a 10-year career as a makeup artist.
What?
And for the first maybe 6-7 years of my career, I would not wear it.
Really?
So I hope to get into that today too.
We can continue if you want to, okay? The plethora of knowledge in your mind, I want the world to see it. I remember I started doing my eyebrows when I was in the military. That was the one thing I could do good on my own was my eyebrows. And then everything else after that was just like, it wasn't working. My makeup era came in was when I was in COVID because I was in my room bored. I was stationed in Korea, and I fooled around with it. But no, how any interesting hotels? How's your sexual journey been?
Well, it's been quite the adventure, I must say.
Oh, good. Let's get into it.
So when you asked me what did I want to talk about, I'm like, well, I want to talk about the exciting parts of being a femboy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What you been doing as a femboy lately?
Being in it, like just being embodied in it, and not being scared or ashamed of being feminine. I was one of those kids when I was younger that got their hand smacked for a limp wrist.
Oh God.
And so like, you know, my parents wanted me to be masculine. They wanted me to be this, but also the reality of that truth is that I've always been this. Like I've always been a femme boy, like a feminine boy. And that was something that I had to like grow out of shame around. Anyway, to the juicy shit.
By the way, y'all, Daddy Baldwin is on the mic. Say hello, peace.
Hey, Daddy Baldwin. But to the juicy shit, yeah, like I have been really living in the space of like allowing men to being honey. That's what I call it. Being honey.
Okay.
And
sticky
being
and sweet.
yeah, just very sweet, very, very attracting, very alluring. I don't like the chase. The thrill of the chase doesn't.
You like to be chased.
I like to be pursued. I like to be wooed. I like to be romanced. Like I think of my life as a movie. And I'm like, what character? Like, who do I want to be? And most of the time, I want to be the person where someone approaches me, somebody who I'm attracted to, somebody who that I'm interested in approaches me, and I have a choice of like, how do I want to dance? Like that playfulness, like the fluttering of the lashes, the looking over, like, boy, you know, like all of that. Getting to play in that is very fun.
I remember you spoke of the limp wrist. I remember when I was young. So both my parents were from Jamaica, and I remember I was in the foyer of our house. Does anyone say foyer anymore?
Yes.
Okay. I was in the foyer of the house, and I remember my cousin was over. Keisha, she came over, and my mom's heels were in the foyer, and my mom had just tiled the foyer with this green emerald tile. I'll never forget it. And I remember putting on my mom's heels and walking around and prancing. And the way my cousin came up to me and smacked the shit out of me, and she's like, "You're a boy. You're not supposed to do that." And I was so confused, and I was just like, it wasn't even a gay. I'm like maybe 6, 7 years old at the time. I'm like a young kid. I was having fun walking around in my mom's shoes, and I just remember like that turmoil from it. But I also, like, growing up into my sexuality, there was always a feminine side of me that like I was always so afraid to show, because the type of men that I typically like are bears. They are usually more masc presenting, which I found to not be the truth, you know. But
that part.
it's very much not the truth. But I felt this like false sense of masculinity that I had to push out into the world. It's actually, you know, it's quite crazy because Daddy, right? When we were just beginning, I have a new daddy that I started seeing. And when I started my dynamic with him, I was very, because like he a nigga, okay? Like he is very masc presenting. And when I started with him, I felt this like desire to like be so masculine. And I remember we were having a conversation. He's like, "I like a boy who can switch it up." And I tell you, when I heard that, it gave me this
so much
freedom. Oh my God. And I was just like, he's like, "I like a boy that can be a bad bitch, but they can also like switch it up and like just do his own thing." And that was very reassuring to me.
Yes.
Because like my last dom, like,
and like once you have that acceptance, it's really hard to go back.
Yes.
It's really hard to go back. And so where I am in life is like I can change a tire, oil, and alternator.
Period. Okay.
As well as, you know, do the thing. And for me, it kind of is a reclamation of femininity where like most of the example of femininity we take from women, and but it's also very patriarchally skewed. It's like women are supposed to be docile, they're supposed to be helpless, they're supposed to be this and that.
That's why I love Xena, because she's spitting the face.
But they are not that.
No, they are not.
Women are very capable people. Feminine people are very capable people. And us choosing to be soft around you is a choice.
Absolutely.
But best believe I can do it myself. Like, it's a very powerful place to be.
You were very right. Speaking to like host shit this week, so for those of you who don't know, Mr. Dominus loves gummy bears. Haribo gummy bears are my absolute favorite. And I am not one of those influencers. I don't even like saying that word, but one of those influencers that likes using their power for bad. But I did a little bit this week. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I posted a video of me on Instagram this week, and I was like, what did I say? I posted a top picture of me with my nips on. I was doing. I needed a relaxing day because I had like, what had happened? I think it was the day after I had my panic attack this week. And I went home the next day. I literally like pumped my nips and I put my Fort Trough penis pump on, my cock and ball pump, and I just like relaxed. And I put something on my Instagram and I said, while I have this pump on, I'm answering all the questions today. So, and then I did an aerial picture of me pumping my nips, and I covered like the part that's all around my dick, and Instagram went crazy. Okay. And then everyone kept asking for nudes, and I was just like, they're like, can we see the picture without it? And I was like, if you send gummy bears, I'll send it to you. Baby, I got 5 orders of gummy bears sent to my house that day. I was like, ooh. This is with great power comes great responsibility.
Absolutely.
And I don't plan on abusing that, but so like the first guy that sent me the message, he's like, I'll send you gummy bears. So I was like, how the hell do I get these people to send me gummy bears? I was like, Amazon wish list. Boom, because I won't have to get my address. So I made a little Amazon wish list. I put just 1 pack of gummy bears, the cheap little $2 pack. It arrived at my house in 15 minutes. And I munched on those gummy bears all day.
While you answered questions.
While I answered questions, I still did my obligatory duty. I answered all the questions. But to everybody who sent me gummy bears, I am very, very much appreciative to you all. They are all God. I fucked them gummy bears up. Like I like my candy like my men. I like bears.
That sounds fun.
But apart from that, my dynamic with my dom/daddy is it's been we are going through protocols, understanding your protocols, practicing them properly right now.
That's what you witnessed from the sub.
Yes. And apparently I'm a bad boy. I am learning my protocols a lot better. But I'm not a bad boy.
They're not spoken of a lot anymore.
No, they're not.
And like, so it becomes hard when people are unused to what was the standard of leather. Like you could read the situation and be like, oh, they're in service. Yeah. And like, but that because it's not seen as much as it used to be. And you and your sub it wasn't because what I don't cancel me. What I don't like seeing is theatrical service. Does that make sense? Like you were on a mission to have a day with your sub and to have that moment with them. And like your sub was very much in service to you, right? Anybody blindly could have saw that. I was just in a different mode. And when you pointed out to me, I was like, oh, and I finally like actually saw it. But then I see some people in service and I'm just like, I guess I can't judge anybody else's service, but some of it just kind of looks like showing off a little bit. And if that's what they want to do, they want to do. But I don't like everyone. Like I feel like a lot of doms and subs now they don't. Everyone has your high protocol and your low protocol. I know MAL is a big weekend for high protocols. Kind of just to be on display. And that was his first day in protocol.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, you bad. You bad.
That was his first day in protocol.
Wow.
Yeah, that was his first leather event, his first time in public with me as.
How long was your dynamic before he had his first protocol day?
Oh, well, we actually were roommates.
Really?
We were roommates for about a year and a half.
Okay.
In Atlanta. And during that time, I think in the beginning I gave him an invitation to be a part of my world, my family.
Okay.
And he took it to his council. He has a council. He's a very powerful person. He's spiritually, he's like a shaman. He's got several initiations, so he requires what he requires.
Okay.
He went to the council, and to be honest, the council told him that I did not have hands big enough for him spiritually. And then time went on, and he witnessed my steadiness. He witnessed me live my life very authentically, because we lived together. There was no hiding.
Yeah.
You know, we had a whole house. The garage was my workshop with my rig, and we would have events, and I would bring people in, and he got to see this whole experience of like why people call me Master Zero or MXTER Zero. Like, what is all the... Oh, no, because I do this for real, not part-time. This is my full-time life. And so we gentrification struck. We had to go about our ways. And when I reached back out to him in the fall, he said to me, I've been in devotion to you all summer. And so now I'm like, oh, well, you know, because we had begun some little conversations, but once we had to find somewhere else to live, all bets out the window. Everybody take care of themselves.
Yeah.
We ain't got time to be focused on, you know, this. We need to be making ourselves individually stable.
Yeah.
And so when he said that to me, though, I was like, well, that kind of patience, you can't pull that out of somebody. So that was very attractive to me that they, I mean, from June to want to say October, he had been in devotion. And I'm like, all right, well, if you really want to go on this journey, this means our friendship shifts. That is a different realm. We are not friends. I am mixed. Can you accept me as the person who you're handing? We call it a power proxy ship.
Ooh. Okay.
We call it a power proxy ship, and it's something that I actually move around the world with too.
Ooh.
And it's very much the femdom in the boardroom. So in my work, I'm a coach. That's the baseline. That's the easiest way for me to explain to people.
Okay.
But in real time, I help powerful people learn how to hold more power. Professionally, personally, and in pleasure. So that's just what I do.
Oh, wow.
Now, the concept of power proxy says, I make me the person who you're trying to prove yourself to. And I'm sitting in the boardroom, and I want you to ask for everything you sat down at that table to ask for. Make me proud.
Your house sounds very appealing. Oh, wow. You got high standards for your children.
I do.
Absolutely, as you should.
I do.
Go ahead.
My question, explain devotion. Or in that meeting that he had.
Devotion. I guess if I were to like flicker, it would go into like worship, but it is to be committed, right? Like it's a commitment. It is saying I want to, and some would say pledge allegiance, but other people would say I pledge alignment with, right? And maybe it's not allegiance, maybe it's just an alignment. And they're like, I want to go where you take me. I'm devoted to making you happy. I'm devoted to, you know, sharing my power with you, because we understand that subs are powerful people.
Yeah.
They're just sharing their power with us, and there is a reciprocal energy transfer that goes back to the sub. But I got bigger. My demands got bigger, and then the people who were approaching me, the subs, were bigger. You know what I'm saying? Now there's doctors. I got doctors as mentees, and, you know, millionaire shamans as boys, and all of these things. Because
Are you a findom as well?
not in the contrary way.
Okay.
Not in the way of like send me $10 every time, but like I would say that I do exude an energy that demands luxury.
If you
to hold me and to like be in like proximity with me, I demand luxury because I provide luxury.
Ooh. I feel a little broke to be sitting in this chair. I don't know. No. I appreciate you for being here so much.
But you can be abundant in all kinds of other ways.
Oh, 100%.
That would be very much useful to me. Like
I understand that. I really want to, if anyone knows a FinDom, I would love to really I would love to interview one. If you do know one, we can talk after this. But no, watching your sub in service to you was it was very reassuring that the culture is still alive. And I do appreciate that.
That is a mission.
Yes.
That is very much a mission.
Absolutely. I'm struggling with my protocols a little bit. I'm not gonna hold you. My dom sent me, my protocols are 158 pages. It was a book. And like I steadily like I think in the beginning when I got them, it was very much like learn it all. And like I had to realize like this is a process. And like he really helped me change my mindset on like I have this mentality of like I have to be the perfect boy, which is horrible mentality.
It's horrible
mentality. But like, and we've been working on that, and it's understanding, like growing with time, right? Taking the little task, and I'm just like the military doesn't like it takes 10 weeks to go through basic training, literally. Like you cannot learn everything in a week, and so it wasn't until like 2 weeks ago where I was really like, okay, literally takes 21 days to build a habit. And so like I've been like the way I've been approaching protocols is more like do something, make these habitual habits for 21 days, and then we add something from the protocols. And so that way everything becomes I believe protocols should not be like, oh, okay, I have to do this. Like they should be second nature to you. Like when you understand, like when you're in that mindset, you know exactly what to do. And like we had that conversation. I'm glad like it's very interesting like when you having a dom that wants you to do well versus one that just wants to be of service are two different things. Two different things. And so this experience with him has been very educational, and it's been very. I was telling him like it's been very spiritual for me as well.
It is
very
and
spiritual.
The deeper you get, the more you see. That's why.
Yes.
Where we're at right now.
Okay, because I was telling him is like a lot of like the things that he's asked of me, I'm seeing biblical references to them, like dying to self, and just like how you serve somebody, and it's not always about you, but I genuinely desire to serve. But it's been a great experience. But we are going into our next segment because we're a little over time. Okay, so we're going to do. Sorry to make that abrupt change, you guys. So we're going to do this thing where we read off a statement and we are going to talk about whether you agree or don't. Okay. First one. I remember we talked about one at the beginning of the show. Do you remember it, Daddy Baldwin? Do you remember which one it was?
Masculinity in gay spaces.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it? Okay. There's a privilege in being masculine presenting in gay spaces. And then what was the caveat we added to it?
Leather and kink spaces.
Okay. So do you think that there is a privilege of being masculine in gay spaces? And do you also think that there is a privilege in being masculine in kink and leather spaces?
That type of question like really fries my brain. Because I think maybe ego wants to say no. But the conversations that continue to surface are like the mask for mask conversations.
I fucking hate it.
And it's not true. It's just loud.
That part.
It's not true. I have met so many men who don't want masculine. They don't want it. They're like
pushes that.
Right.
But you know what's interesting though? Like how media has changed, because like and you think of like early 2000s, right? Like gay media. It's always like it was always some very on TV, it seemed like gay men were always like super feminine or like the Hollywood.
Overly.
Yes. And it's like now the gays that they want to see on TV are like the masculine, like Paleon, right? The gays that have this like that butch sense. It's interesting how the culture influences so heavily what we deem as acceptable versus just doing what you want to do.
I think everything is cyclical. Right, because before we had this masculine presentation, we had the caricature, right? We had Tu Wong Fu, right? Like the most gayest of gay. Like every time you saw a gay person, they were the gayest person. Yes. So now you're seeing a wave of like regular gay, like not.
Do you think this is like the heteronormative agenda to making it seem more? Or like, I don't know, it feels like the gays that I'm seeing on TV now, like some of them are super gay. I love it. But like sometimes it feels like it's like we're being fed the gays that are manageable. Sometimes it feels like from a standpoint of like, this is somebody who like versus like, you remember first Queer Eye? They were all like super fucking gay, right? Versus like Queer Eye now, nothing's wrong with them, but it's like everyone's in their own speed, which I love.
See, we were walking down pop culture lane because before we had Queer Eye, we had Queer as Folk, which was gay, and then we had Noah's Ark. Which was another range of gay, right?
Absolutely.
So I think we're getting to see range finally.
Absolutely, we are.
I think that's where I'm like, okay, there's range.
What's that show with the hockey players where the two guys are gay?
Heated Rivalry.
Heated Rivalry. And that has gotten so. I have not seen it, but like those are two gays that I would have never thought would have been on TV.
It's good.
But what I am happy about is that the gay stories aren't like trauma stories like they used to be, like Brokeback Mountain or like Moonlight. Like those were moments, but they are not the entirety of like.
I just recently watched Moonlight. I know people, but
I've never seen it. I know exactly what it's about. I know how it ends.
There are certain movies, particularly Black movies, that I'm like, I'm not sure about this yet. I need to be in a space to
accept, to be able
to go down that. I don't want to say trauma lens, but like to go down this space where I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna be 7 years or 11 years a slave.
I did not watch The Wire.
Right.
I was like, I'm from that area. Right. I live down there. Like at some point in my life, I don't need to see what y'all thought of it on TV.
And I like that range. I like that the way you said that, because I think that that's the same thing with masculine mass. And I think like there are so many people who like feminine men, particularly in our community. I think that what has happened is that it wasn't okay to like it,
and so they were hiding.
Correct.
Yes.
So we literally had DL gay guys. Like we had DL gay guys because they couldn't like outwardly say, I think that's a little sweet that I like. And now they are becoming a lot more vocal, which is what I presented to you. I was like, I'm seeing this as I scroll Twitter. I'm feeling a little more X. I'm feeling a little more encouraged because I've been this for a long time. Yeah. Now, how I wanted to go into the content creation, how I wanted to move was always up in the air because I had a resistance to being considered a femboy. Like, not that I wasn't feminine, but I was like, I'm a grown woman. I'm not a boy. I'm like very much like rich auntie vibes. Like, but. Come on, but I was like, for the sake of
why did I get Beyonce?
Pop culture, for real. But for the sake of pop culture, the femboy is the term. I just said I was Queen Mother femboy. If I'm gonna be a femboy, I'm Queen Mother, and it's like deep, penetrating work, literally and figuratively.
Let's do two more.
And I think I'm gonna add that femboy. In hierarchy, it actually gives a more subordinate position in title, right? When you say Queen Mother, she owns a house. She's mopped this, like this is.
She's wearing red bottoms.
She's wearing red bottoms, right? She has position. That is now a position where I think femboys, at least in connotation, I think people are giving it range, right? But I think in connotation, it's really
I think that's what
a really small, population of subculture of boys who like to be a boy. And feminine. Go ahead.
All right, last question, and we'll get into our episode. A lot of doms are just rebranded tops with control issues.
True. Which
I'm
always
gonna give you a platform for a minute.
Which leans them towards not being like. There's a conversation that pings off of that that's around tops or doms needing aftercare, and like a lot of times they don't get it. They don't get aftercare, and it's not because they don't need it, but it's because their ego won't allow them to ask for it.
Very true.
Or like. Yes, like I dom control issues, and my thing is, I would say that's true for the general like consensus, but when you get into it, as you know, it is not that.
Yeah,
like
give aftercare.
It is not that.
It's kind of mandatory for me. It's one of the discussions I have. We're going to play, and I love, like, I remember I've met a couple doms. Or even just playmates, how aftercare, a lot of the aftercare goes into the next day. Like, even just that simple check, like, how did you, are you okay?
I make a call 2 days after.
Come on.
I sure do.
But you said top, right? So you're associating sexual position to that, right? The question, right? And so I think, the sexiest thing that's happened to me somewhat recently is I was getting fucked and the dude called me daddy. And I was like, it was not the thing I expected. Because it was a hookup, right? And so I think I had already prepared to be in this other space. And for whatever reason, he called me daddy. And I was like, for a moment, I was like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think it's so funny because
you do it back harder.
Oh, play with me.
Yeah.
Right. And so, like, there's this space that I think when you exude a certain presence, you can do that in any sexual position.
All right. So we're going to get into our episode today, the rise of the femboy. All right. So, first question. You said femboys are the new wave. What are you seeing that makes you say this?
Well.
And first, let's start off. Describe a femboy.
A femboy. I think I think the term femboy actually is definitely like based off of the aesthetic first. When I scroll X and or Instagram, what I'm seeing is, either masculine men sharing now vocally, like, I think I'm interested. And they like making that a reel.
Yeah.
Or I'm seeing a lot more content, specifically Black and brown folks in fishnets, in skirts, at the red dress run. And like, I think there's like these things that are being chipped away at around
Have you been
shame.
to the red dress run?
No.
Oh, I want to do that one day. So bad. You should do
I'm
that.
like Queen Mother Femboy was like, I did that so many years ago. Like because they see it as such a what is it? Like not a fantasy. They see it. It's like a moment for them, right? Like because they exist in having to be the boy, and like them doing the red dress run is an outlet, like Halloween.
Correct.
So for me,
you like I live this.
The red dress run. I'm like, yeah, but I do desire to have a moment where I'm in a gown for something. For sure.
We can bring you there and just have your house just kind of stroll you down the street, put you on a chariot. You don't gotta run.
Please.
How has the internet changed how femboys show up and connect? I think social media has definitely influenced.
Definitely.
The rise of the femboy.
I'm inspired, right? I'm not even gonna sit here and hold you. I love it. Helps me to remember that I can and that I'm allowed by seeing other people who I've been friends with before or in passing, other creators. You see it trending, reshares. You see it like, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool to like see other people like me. In different for various forms and shapes, and you know, wherever we are in the spectrum of femboy, whether it's Queen Mother or if it's, you know, the fishnet baddie, like it doesn't matter. It's just like it's cool, and it's cool to see people loving on them. It's cool to see the likes on those types of videos and seeing like, because I'm like, okay, cool, people are shifting.
I love seeing like femboys and or men that can do both. Like I love seeing the versatility in the looks, in the styles, in their hair. It is so. It makes me super happy to see. Because first of all, I'm slightly jealous because I don't know how to do my hair or makeup like that.
I don't know how to do it either.
But when I see them, especially it literally warms my heart to see it, and I love that we're entering an age where it's becoming so more acceptable. I'm so happy for it. I am. And I think that was one of the best things that I really liked about MAL too, was seeing all the black and brown and POC men that were just living in their femininity, in their leather get-ups. You know,
For sure.
Leather has this toxic, you know, adjacent thinking of being ultra masculine due to like origins of it, but it's changed. And walking around MAL and seeing guys in harnesses and fishnets with heels, and I'm just like, I love that they feel accepted, because some time ago this would have never been accepted, and you would have been judged.
And many of them are POC. Might I add, like the ones that I saw, I saw most of them were black that I saw that were either in heels or in boots or a combination of that.
That damn George, he was fucking slaying at that.
I will say, mind you, and we see each other. We see each other like when we're out and about. I will say, like, you know, there have been men in heels on the IML stage, and they were most of the time white. And there have definitely been some trailblazers towards like presenting femininity in black leather as well. But to your point, seeing the swirl in real time, I do think that I was one of the first black masters to be covered as a master in red bottoms and a white. This is what I got covered in
Okay.
as a master. My master cap is over yonder somewhere, but like, I made a choice at the time. I was like, I want to do this the way I want to do it, but I also want to do it in a way where the men can't poke holes in me. Right? Like, I know you have $800 West Coast, but I have $800 Italian leather red bottoms. Like, I know you have your full cowl, but I have on this full leather dress.
I love it.
Like, just taking the points of like measure, like what we're looking at in contest. I've judged contests too. So what we're looking at in contest is the complete story of like the visual.
Yeah.
I just freaked it as a feminine person.
Do you think that contests are becoming more open to, because like don't
think contests have a choice.
Do you think that femme culture, when it comes to judging contests, are becoming more accepting of the femme boy look in leather? And I ask that because I recently spoke to a recent title holder, and one of the looks for MAL is the bar look, right? And they're kind of going typically off of what, you know, boots, bar vests. But like, if you're going in, you know, red bottoms, you know, or a high-waisted kilted skirt, do you think that judges are now taking into consideration that the bar look is changing and not holding it against them?
I think so.
You are?
I do think so. I think so bar wear, it literally says, you know, what would you wear when you are feeling good on a bar night? And if that person feels good in a high-waisted kilt and some Doc Martens,
a kilt, by the way,
then you know, we really want to see how confident you are in it. Right? We're not really like, oh, that t-shirt's too tight. But like, are you showing us authenticity is really what we're looking at.
You know, I realized it was about 2 years ago because like okay, so young me never would have been into skirts. Like I'd have been like, oh, that's like really gay. And I saw this jock strap that it's a jock, but around the what do you call it? The base, not the base, the band. Is it is a mini skirt. And it was giving me like vibes of I think it's a Toxic video with Britney Spears and she's in like the shorts. Oh my God, I thought it was so hot. I thought it was so hot. And I remember the first time I bought my first kilt and the guy said I was supposed to wear it down. I wanted my kilt higher. Like I really did. And I just remember, like, I remember when I finally started becoming, and it wasn't until I met one of my exes where I was learning to become more comfortable in being effeminate and not feeling like I had to be the super masc presenting person. Where I was starting to find myself like, you're attracted to this. This is okay. It's okay to like these things. And I implore anybody who has these feelings. Sometimes like the message of like it takes a village sometimes. And like I know we all talk about be confident, be who you are, but it really did take somebody kind of empowering me to be like, it's okay.
Exactly.
It's okay to like this.
Yes. Which is why I be so loud. I'm not loud. I'm really actually not loud. But my energy is sometimes the presentation can be like, oh, what? But even with wearing makeup, right? I don't feel like I look like a drag queen.
Not at all.
Right? It is a, you know, but
it's
do
a very
that
polished look. You look like you, which I like.
you.
You do. I
do that presentation so that other people can feel like there's space for them. Like somebody has made room for them. Cause little me would have wanted to see me.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like little me would have been like, oh shit, that's possible. After, you know, I unlearned all the things that I was taught to hate about myself.
I think that's very profound that you say that. And I think the biggest compliment you could ever or achievement is being the person who you would have wanted little you to be okay with. Everything everybody was telling you, don't look like this, don't do this.
Right.
And being the person that would have made you feel seen.
Yep. Even if it's the person that your mama would have hated.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that was the hardest thing for me when I came out. And like walking away from like my parents are Caribbean, so there is no like, oh, you know, we're gonna love you for who you are. It's like, fuck you, like you're done. And I didn't even give them the opportunity to like say, oh, this is over. I stepped away from them, and I said, if you do love me and you want a relationship with me, these are the boundaries I have for myself. But you're not gonna disrespect me or my husband. I haven't seen my mom since 2017. I haven't, and I have the utmost respect for my mom. I love them, but I think it's important understanding how to set those boundaries and being true to yourself for who you want it to be for you.
Listen, I get it. And so your parents are Caribbean. My dad has worked for a church for the past 36 years. So I am complete, like, I am being daring every time I post something on social media looking like this, right? Like there's always an opportunity that the algorithm will rat me out and I'll receive that phone call from my mom and whatever. But I can't let that stop me.
Absolutely. All right. Identity and expression. How do femboys navigate being both desired and misunderstood at the same time? You got some statements on this one. Topics that was, go ahead.
It's understanding it. It's like being able to like not when they're being animosity, you know, when there's animosity towards you, but you grow to understand that people don't actually understand the appeal, but you pull, like when I feel that, I'm not going to give it to you. I'm going to make you beg me for it. Like I there's a thing that happens energetically where you can be curious and also resistant, and I just get sweeter, and I'm making you question what your resistance is.
So you have a very like polished and very like established identity of who you are. How do you help the common femboy walking into their era have those type of feelings for themselves, to understand that it's okay to be desired? It's okay to be misunderstood by everyone. Everyone is, I don't believe, is supposed to understand you. I think the biggest thing is being true to yourself. How do you give them that that confidence? Speak to the people.
To walking as a femboy, I would say, fuck them people. I would say, fuck them people. Like, really, what makes you happy? And if I can take a dip for just a second,
Go
there
ahead.
was a moment when I was younger, like in high school, and like definitely approaching some, some really weird, let's just say really weird thoughts about whether I should be here or not.
Yeah.
And the thing that was bringing me peace was curling my little sister's doll baby's hair with a curling iron. Like, I was sitting in the living room, like with my legs crossed, and it was so much so my mom did this thing where, like, I was on the phone with her, and I was like, I'm tired, and this was after I had came out, and I'm like, I'm tired. I'm just tired. And she was like, what do you mean tired? She kept me on the phone for an hour and a half, drove from Baltimore to York, Pennsylvania, walked in the door, and I had no idea. None of like, she left work, pulled up on me to make sure that I was safe. And she caught me in the middle of the living room with the smell of like burning hair as I'm like, but that was the thing that was bringing my nervous system peace at that moment. That was like, I just want to be myself. Like, I just want to do things that are pretty. I just want to be okay with doing it. I'm going to fix the bike and I'm going to hammer the nail and I'm going to do all of that. But I also enjoy the fact that I love powerful women.
Yeah.
I love what they look like. I love how they move. I love their grace. And so the very person that might not accept this part of me is the person who I am living my mother's liberation. I am living my mother's liberation. Like, my mother is very conservative. She had to do what she had to do so that me and my little sister weren't Baltimore statistics.
Yes.
And she is now very high ranking in her career and all the things, because that's what the shape that she had to create to do what she needed to do. She found my daddy. I am living her liberation. Like, I am very much same attention to detail, same, excellence, same high energy power, but also free.
Yeah.
And so I would say, fuck them people. Like, what's true to you? What's your origin story? Learn that.
Yes.
Heal that. Like,
I think what you just said is very healing and understanding your origin story and healing from it. 100%. Absolutely. I am still, it wasn't, not to cut you off. It was this week where I realized how much of my childhood still shows up in the things that I desire from my dom, and how I expected him. And I had a serious talk with Annabelle this week, and he was like, you cannot expect your dom to heal the things that you went through in your childhood. And I was just like, Daddy Bo. He's like, I've been telling you this forever. I know. But it took something happening this week for me to like really realize that. And I'm
that perfect boy syndrome.
Oh my God.
It's
it is
very much
deadly. That is a
bad.
horrible thing, I think, to have. I think
it's another version of perfection, which is unfortunate because perfection will keep you from anything, any sort of liberation, any sort of growth. And unfortunately, being a perfect boy is just a version of that being directed in boydom. Like,
and it was, the other thing he told me was just like understanding not to like, sometimes how like I take some things so personal. Like if something is done against me and like, everything about you.
To have a standard of perfection makes you really hard to give feedback to. Like, and as a boy, that is antithetical. Like, honestly, like in the playground of kink, right? Like, we're supposed to kind of like set you up, give you like hard tasks to do, push back on you because you're already so big and everywhere else, right? And if you fall apart every time you get a little nudge, that's not because the person nudged you hard. It's because it could be. because you are holding the standard of perfection when we're not expecting perfection.
Yes.
We're expecting
Very
you
true.
to be excellent at course correction.
Yes. You're.
Ooh, I
Lessons
like that.
A lot of
Be
lessons
excellent
learned.
at
Course
correction.
correction.
All right, let's get into femboys and kink and leather and fetish spaces.
Yes.
How are femboys received in traditional hypermasculine spaces like leather or BDSM communities?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Oh,
Because I don't care.
tell them that. That's totally fine.
I literally have from the time that I presented this version of myself to the community, I planned it. Like I had my shoes for probably about 6 to 8 months before I wore them. Like I had ordered the dress. I got A cups so my chest could be flat. Like I did all the things because I did not want to be poked at.
Yeah.
I wanted to be taken seriously. And so there's a space of like, one, these are supposed to be spaces of shamelessness. And like,
Supposed to be.
right, these are supposed to be anti-shame, anti-bigotry, all these anti-things. And I feel as though anybody, because I've done what I did, how I did it, maybe that's my own perfectionism talking. If you're poking holes at me, it's probably coming from a place that's not even acceptable in this room.
Yeah.
And I have maybe a privilege of like, I ain't even gonna have to check you. Because I've been boots to the ground.
Yeah.
Before I was this, I was boots to the ground. Like I've marched in the Pride, New York World Pride, DC, Philly, at like LA. One time in my life, I've actually done 2 Eagles in one day, bi-coastally. I went from LA to Wilton Manors and did both Eagles in one day.
Damn.
None of y'all can tell me shit about being leather. You understand? Like,
you do it all. Absolutely. Second question. What kind of roles do femboys tend to be pushed into in kink spaces? And are those assumptions limiting?
Subby bottom roles.
I can't stand that shit.
Subby bottom roles is what they get pushed into. But, part of me sharing what I was sharing with you about why we should talk about this is because I'm starting to see that conversation change.
Yes.
As well.
That conversation changed for me. I've seen it change, but it was with George when he had his episode about the femdom. Yes, very much.
Listen, the people know that the femboys, one, they tend to pack, and 2, they tend to know exactly what to do with it. And so, like, now the people are waking up that the femboys got good dick.
Yes, they do.
And,
I was so confused. When he said pack, I was like, is he talking about guns or is he talking about dick? I wasn't sure. They might have both.
Yeah, look, we gotta be safe out here. But yeah, the people are waking up. Like, if you box us, it's your loss. Right? For me, I created the divine baddie. Right, like that was my moniker is the divine baddie because, and that came from like pleasure space. That came from I had been throwing dick for years. I was actually bored, and during COVID, I decided to take advantage of the collection of toys that I had built for others. And I took myself through this whole training journey that also turned.
Tell us about some of these toys.
Big ones, little ones, curved ones, monster ones. Like Tantus Toys was having 50% off and 60% off sales.
Okay.
I was like, oh, let me support all the small businesses. I want that. I was buying like $160 toys for like $70. So I have this it used to be my makeup kit. And it's a box about this high and this wide. And from top to bottom, it's all insertables. I have not taken them all, but
bought a huge
I have a collection
from Fort Trough. I've been taking them for a spin.
And you find so many things. You really do find some things about yourself. And me personally, I believe that me knowing my body made me
Say
better at navigating other people's bodies.
Absolutely. I think toy time is important for not even for just the bottom. I think it's really important for just kind of self-discovery.
It is.
And seeing things that you desire about yourself. Because like I truly believe in like you can't learn to love nobody else until you know how to love yourself. And that kind of goes for fucking yourself as well. Like,
let me tell you something. Because I'm gonna tell you, the divine baddie came from a popper's high.
really? Which kind?
Like, I don't know. I was going through a whole bunch of them at the time, but my favorite now is Pig Sweat. But what happens for me, like spiritually, like and this might be a very complex topic. Do not follow me, whatever. But I can take myself to such a space of pleasure that I feel like I'm receiving information from the universe.
Oh, wow.
Like I get so far bliss. And you know how like some people get to like the gooning and they're like drooling and they're like, I can have that modality, but I can also go in on a mission where I'm like reprogramming my thoughts. Like, because like I'm so fascinated with how well my body works. I'm so fascinated with how much I can handle.
Knowing your body.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Like I'm so fascinated by how much space I have, like how much capacity I have to hold. And when you start talking a little bit, it actually sounds less like sex talk and more like affirmations.
Yes.
And so at certain points, I'm like so big. I'm like, oh, you are so like, and I'm like, I'm not a divine masculine. I'm not a divine feminine. I'm a divine baddie. Like I can throw dick as well as I take it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and the more I like really leaned into being okay with fuck y'all power bottoms. Like people who have a thing against power bottoms have a thing against not being in control.
Yes.
It's not a thing. There's nothing wrong with a person having control over themselves and how you're navigating their body. You find it a lot in fisting bottoms.
Yeah.
A fisting bottom will teach you.
Yes.
Quickly.
What's his name? Emmett said that on our episode. He said the best way to learn how to be the fisting top is to learn from a fisting bottom. He definitely said that.
Fisting bottles will top you in a heartbeat, energetically, because you're not going to play with their body.
Yes.
And so, like,
They know
for me,
themselves.
that same thought is like, if you are shaming a power bottom, it's because you want somebody's pleasure to be contingent upon your ego.
Yes.
Come on.
Upon you. That's and
Could you
Child
imagine
by.
like all the better or all the good sex we could be having if we learn how to master ourselves? So much sex I feel like is wasted. So many hookups are just like, because like we go into it with the wrong mindsets.
Yep. That's why the
And
double
I
vanguard
think
is what it
sometimes
is now.
you're almost whether it's by disappointment or otherwise, you're almost taught to like, if you bottom, then they have to kind of like just submit to whatever they do.
Absolutely not.
And then just kind of go,
No.
now I'm not look,
Tag
I'm
me
new. I'm new to this bottom
Oh,
journey.
are you?
Fairly new to this
Okay,
bottom
cool,
journey.
cool. Tell me.
I'm not speaking of. Well, now I'm not speaking of that, but in previous times, like this idea, like, oh, because I'm, I think a dominant character, like I need to like not be as dominant to allow them to be in that space, which has changed now. I'm not that. I ain't that person.
Can
no more.
I
Go
reflect
for it.
something back to you? So bottoming, right? Like people have a resistance to power bottom, but to your point, what I have figured out is that what I like and what I think power bottoms like is for to have control long enough for them to warm up.
Correct.
Right?
That's it.
Like, let me navigate my body until I can surrender.
That
True.
part.
Like
I
when
do
you
agree with
get
that.
when you get over the hump,
That part.
if you can get past your ego, I'm gonna get you situated, and then once I get you situated, I'm going to take you off the leash.
It's that right
and
there.
I can take you off, but you got to work with me. Like you on the leash until I take you off of it.
Absolutely.
And talk about some hoe shit, some sexy shit.
Yeah.
Like I got to feel this as a master, as a dominant. Like I've had puppies, and like I love a puppy top.
Really?
I love a puppy top, a trainable top. Like there's been moments like him and like me and my puppy were like getting into it, and I'm on my back like missionary, like and like music's going, incense going. There's a whole movement happening, and like he's not synced up with me. So I literally from the bottom, I put my hand on his chest. I said pause, and he was like, "Yes, sir." And I said, "I want you to follow my rhythm."
It's the yes, sir.
I want you to follow my rhythm. And I tapped my chest. And he started stroking me to the rhythm that I created for him to stroke me to.
Oh.
So like it gets real, yeah.
That is a great technique. That should be the whole tip for the week. Teaching your body, the top, how to stroke. Oh.
You.
Yes.
How to stroke you.
How to stroke you.
The chest tapping. Absolutely.
Follow me.
Come on, following the
Just slow it down.
The rhythm to your own drum. All right, a couple more questions. Masculinity and breaking the standards. Why has masculinity been the default currency in kink and leather spaces for so long?
Oh, can you ask me that one more time?
Why do you think masculinity has been the default currency in kink and leather spaces for so long?
Cognitive dissonance. But also I would say like, you know, if we really look at where leather culture came from in the United States.
Yes.
It's
That's
based
what I
out
was
of
thinking,
it's based
yes.
out of military. And it's based out of military in a very patriarchally driven. Not that we are not patriarchally driven now, but even more so then, right? I wanted like, you know, they weren't even sending women away to war at that time, right? So these soldiers were coming back with all these things that they learned in Japan, they learned in Berlin, and they learned in all these places. And well, it's honestly which shit that would weird people out when they got back to the States.
Yeah.
So then you turn to each other, right? There's a camaraderie that where you turn to each other. I'm hypothesizing, but I think because it was derived from motorcycle culture and military culture in a time where only men were in the military,
Yes.
you get something that centers masculinity.
Yes. Their idea of masculinity.
Their idea of masculinity.
Yes.
And I would also say that there is some cognitive dissonance around the place and the work that women have done in leather culture from the beginning, and how they very much, and I say this in the most reverent way, they stood a station, and they like when men were dying left and right, they were preserving history. They were, you know, they were holding true, and they were, you know, they were by their sides. And I think, and a lot of times now, we're not giving credence to how much women and feminine people have given us space, per the conversation, space to feel safe.
Yes.
And so I was, one of the things that I sent you was like how men are finding femboys to be a safe place to express themselves,
Yes,
and
they
to
are.
explore liberation, because what they're recognizing is that, listen, I drove here from Baltimore City like this. I stopped at red lights with thugs and niggas on the corner.
Absolutely.
If you want to talk about bravery, if you want to talk about power, if you want to talk about strength, if you want to talk about shamelessness, I was batting my lashes at niggas with guns
I mean,
on my way here.
any day when it comes to a bar fight between a mass and a femme, I put my money on the femboy. Absolutely.
Like we out here.
Absolutely.
We out here
Y'all
like fearless.
Hey,
Down.
look. All right, last question I have for you for today. Where do you see the femboy culture going within the next 5 years? Where do you want it to go?
I want to be the next Olivia Pope.
Come on. Oh, I'm a Scandal fan.
I want like some mix between like Olivia
I
Pope.
can still see him playing
And,
Olivia
like,
Pope's role.
I would love to
As a
see a
femboy.
role of a gay man as Olivia Pope. You know, like in that
I
space
think
of
the
like
only-
power, influence.
The only one I've seen so far is Nico. His name is Nico in Pussy Valley, running the club.
Oh yes,
Yes,
Uncle Clifford.
Yes.
I loved seeing that. It was also a caricature,
Yes.
but I loved seeing it. It was a Southern caricature, but I loved it because the writing was phenomenal for Uncle
Can't
Clifford.
wait for the next season.
But we also had the real story. What's his name? Bayard. The guy who ran the civil rights movement for Martin Luther King.
Yes.
Right? Like, we've been doing this. Like, we are powerful people. So I would like to see there to, like, maybe I'm trying to do it a little bit where I'm normalizing. Like, you can see me on a going out in Atlanta or out here in DC with my red bottoms
Absolutely.
and a cute
Strutting the
pant
fucking
and a
streets.
blouse and a belt, like, and demanding respect and being honey and drawing people to me. And when I open my mouth, they're like, "Oh, you're brilliant." Oh, yes. Yes,
And
it's
been
not
brilliant,
it's
gonna stay
it's
brilliant.
I'm not just a fuck toy. I'm also a strategist, a business strategist, a wealth strategist. You know, like we can do all of those things. We are all those
I
things.
love how you give the embodiment of mastering yourself as who you want to be. I feel like a lot of people view femboys or men as being such submissive people, and that's so not true. And I thank you for changing the standard and living your truth and showing them you're just as bad as anybody else. I really appreciate
Just
it.
as bad.
The episodes like these are super important to me because I think they're important to the culture. And to the small femboy watching this on YouTube who is struggling with just being themselves, this is the purpose of this, of why we do this. Thank you.
Thank
We're
you
coming
so
to the
much for
end.
having me. Like,
You can come here anytime you
I
want
was
to.
really excited to like actually voice this. I've never voiced this side of my like showing myself and presenting myself and
You
like
do it
the undercurrent of it.
exceptionally well.
You.
Exceptionally. And you like a baddie. Look at your fucking camera. The face card. Can you just smile? Because I'm definitely gonna use this as a thumbnail for the videos that we're going to make. Before we go, we love a good sex tip. Can you give us because I think the chest thumping was definitely a great sex tip.
gold.
I've never heard that before. That's an amazing
I
technique.
came up with it in the moment. I was like, oh, I'm in charge. I forgot. Like, you got to remember. I had to remember. I was in charge. He was going to do what I asked him to do.
Absolutely. If you have another one, that could be your sex tip because that was great.
I will add this. When I was first discovering my power as a dominant that wanted to bottom, one thing that helped me was blindfolding the submissive so they couldn't see me while I was doing what I wanted to do, using them as a dildo.
So sensory
That's not-
deprivation with them, but you as the bottom in the situation controlling it.
Yes,
They
I
were
have
for
written
you.
a mummy. I've written a mummy.
I've never done a notification plan. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I
I've
don't know
like,
if I trust nobody yet to do that, but I want to one day. One day.
I've had some great times with just like, I guess you could say I gave them a handicap so that I could like, until I was comfortable with being perceived as a bottom.
I love that. Tell the people where they can find you on your social so we can tag you, please.
If you want to find me, you can
better.
find me.
I'm telling you, find it.
You can find me on Instagram at MXTER MXTER _0 with an X. So and then my website is reimagineyourlegend.com. But only come over there if you're trying to talk business. Like,
don't play with his time, y'all.
don't play with my time. If you wanna,
You might get a red bottom to the throat. Okay? He will step on your neck.
Yes, I'm also on TikTok as MXTER XERO and Facebook as MXTER XERO. So things are pretty congruent. But yeah, if you have any other questions, you can email me. info@reimagineyourlegend.com.
Absolutely. And we will tag all of this in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. Best dress for the season so far. Absolutely. You definitely get the award. And we appreciate all of you guys for watching Frequency today. We appreciate you, Daddy Baldwin. You are super awesome. Thank you for being here as well, as always,
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next week. Episodes post every Monday. Bye, guys.